turn this off. Happy Friday to you all. I'm excited I get to, oh, from New York. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How has the week been for you? How has the week been? Please share. Invite others to join. It's going to be fast and furious. Questions, right? I'm just going to take some questions. I'll give you Miami. That's nice. You know, I actually started law school in Florida. My first year of law school, I did it in Florida. So I know Miami very well. In fact, I think I was there a few times. The beach, I mean, not just Miami. But who goes to Miami without going to the beach? Someone is watching me from Connecticut. Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. Please share so that others can join as well. Oh, watching from Texas, Ohio. Nice. I'm so excited. Okay, Anthony, can you stop being rude? Send them all back. Someone is watching me from Canada. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Anthony, please don't be rude. Send who back? Someone is watching me from Jersey. Awesome. You know what? Let me put this phone on D&D before I get interrupted. So who should we send back and to where? Anthony, tell me. Let us all know. Let us all know what you're talking about. Watching from Maryland. You are just around the corner. Our office is in Virginia, Springfield, Virginia. So you just around the corner. Oh, what document to send for request for evidence for I-864? I'll take the questions. I will. Ohio. Thank you. Thank you for telling him that we should send him back. I like that. I really like that. Okay, nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. Please share so that others would join in. I'm just going to take some questions. I'll give you some updates. So I'm going to give you good news updates. Okay, we are not going to join the bandwagon and instill fear. No, we are not going to be. We are really not going to be part of the people who are instilling fear. I think the news portals are doing a lot already. So we are not going to be part of that. We are just going to give you the good news as far as immigration is concerned. And then the great work we are doing, the approvals we are getting for our clients. In spite of everything happening in immigration, we are still getting some approval for our clients, which is great. So we are going to focus on that. And then for our clients who happen to be enforcement priorities, we engage them, we tell them what to do, but we are not going to instill fear. Facebook, can you hear me clearly? Can you see me? Feel free to type in your questions and please share so that others would join and learn a thing or two. You know, so please share, please share. How are you doing? How has the week been for you? Let me know where you're watching us from. I am still in the office. I'm sure you know by now. 5:30. I always do this from the office. Very exciting. We are located in Springfield, Virginia. So if you happen to be in the DMV area, please feel free to stop by. Our address is, just Google. It will bring you here. So let me know where you're watching me from. Okay. See, TikTok is just the place to be. The questions are just trickling in already. First and foremost, how are you doing? I would like to know how you're doing. How has the week been for you? And let me know where you're watching me from. Let's get interactive and please share. Hashtag immigrant brave. Okay? Hashtag immigrant brave. Emma, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing good too. I hope you had a great week. Someone says they're watching me from Seattle, Washington. That's great. I've never been to Seattle. I have to visit the place. That's nice. Pakwesi says he's doing great. I'm also doing great, Pakwesi. Oh, you are anxious and stressed. No, don't be anxious. Don't be stressed. Please, 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 please. I know there's so much going on. Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you for joining. See, I totally understand. There's so much going on. There's so much fear, panic, and alarm. But There's so much good things happening in immigration. I'm also happy to see you. Someone says you're watching from Woodbridge, Virginia, just around the corner. You look very beautiful. Thank you. You as well. I don't see you, but I want to believe you are too. For being this nice, I think you are too. Okay, thank you for sharing. You're watching from Jamaica. That's nice. Jamaica is in the building. Ghana is here as well. Oh, someone is watching me from Sunyani, my home. My big brother, how are you doing? Augustine is watching me from New York. Fantastic. I've lived in New York before. It's actually one of the places that I lived when I relocated to the United States. I know the life in New York and I miss it. I really miss the subways and all that. In my future life, I'll come back to New York. Let's see. Another person is watching me. Lisa is watching from New York. Miracle. Hey, Miracle, your G's. Okay, you're watching me from New Jersey. Thank you. Thank you. I see University of Ghana. Yes, I did attend University of Ghana for my undergrad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are located in Springfield, Virginia. Okay, Springfield, Virginia. I'm still here in the office. You can walk in, but not now. I think we're just about to close. Right after the live stream, we'll be done for the day. So please don't walk in tonight. You can walk in from Monday to Friday, 9 to 6:30. We are always here, always open. Okay. Please don't come here on Saturday. We don't work on Saturdays. Okay. All right. It's so exciting to be here. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to take some questions, and at the end, I'll give you some updates, some great updates. Okay. So we are here doing amazing job for our clients. This week we have to come back to posting our approvals on social media. I think for some time now, we've been fixated on, making sure that our clients are okay and then getting the approvals for our clients. And so we are not doing a great job at posting our approvals. This week, we had two NIW approvals for our clients, one VAWA approval, which is great. An EAD came through, two EADs actually, employment authorization came in for some of our clients. And listen, in as much as, in the news, they're saying that things are going to be slow, let me tell you, we submitted 3 petitions for marriage-based green card just 2 weeks ago. And today, all of them got their biometrics scheduled, right? So it's not as bad as the news portal it's making it. It's not as bad as other attorneys are actually making it, how they are instilling the fear. No, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. If it's bad for them, well, it's good for us. And we have clients that are enforcement priorities, but we tell them what to do. We make sure that, like I have always said, there's no one size fits all approach. But we make sure that we represent our clients diligently, and we let them know what is happening. As far as rates are concerned, I've had actually a client move from one state to the other. This client lives in a certain state that are being raided quite often. So we advise that, can you just move from this state to another state? And so we make sure that we represent our clients diligently, right? And representing their best interest. Like I said, there's no one size fits all approach as far as immigration is concerned. So we serve our clients with a custom-based approach. And so great things are happening. Great things are happening in immigration. I'm sure you all know there are lawsuits challenging the executive order. If you really want a website to reach that is going to give you the real update as far as legal actions that are being taken, as far as the lawsuits that are being filed, check Democracy 2025 websites. Trust me, there's so much great things happening. Injunctions, temporary restraining orders. Recently, there was a lawsuit filed to stop ICE from raiding churches. Okay, so yeah, great things happening. It's not all bad. It depends on where you look. It depends on what you're reading. It depends on who you are following. And so we are not going to be part of the other attorneys or the other officers or the other news portals that are just instilling the fear. There are great things happening in immigration. So I want to talk about the expedited removal. I know it's all over, right? The one of the executive orders basically said that when you pick an illegal immigrant or someone who is not admitted, then you can, there's like this expedited removal. Let me tell you, generally, people that are coming from outside of the United States, trying to enter into the United States, are those that you can remove them instantly. Those are the people that can be removed instantly. But if you're here in the United States and ICE, CBP, DHS try to remove you, you're supposed to appear for a hearing, right? Due process will have to take its course. And so expedited removal generally is for those that are trying to enter the United States. I have two clients in London who were coming into the United States, and right there at the airport, one of them actually had come in, gotten married to a US citizen. I mean, this lady put herself on the dating market, got married to a US citizen and thought, you know what, I can cheat the system, quickly rush out and come back in. And right at the airport, she was removed. In fact, she got to JFK and she was removed. So that is how you can remove someone. That is how expedited removal occurs. It's not someone who is here in the US. Generally, it's for those that are trying to enter into the United States, not those that are already here. If you're here and you're being removed, you need to appear before a competent judge, right? You have to appear before a judge, make a case for yourself. And if you're ordered removed, it's either voluntary departure, or if you're an enforcement priority, then literally you'll be detained and then taken out, but you would be given the opportunity to make a case before a judge. And so the whole expedited removal and then the fear that it's causing, I think you should really truly follow, change the things you read, the pages you follow, the news portal, because there are great things happening in immigration as well. Okay. Another great update is there's a waiver for final interview as far as employment visa or green card is concerned. I have had clients, I'm sure if you follow us, you know that we are big on the employment-based green card or employment-based visas. Previously, you would attend an interview, but as of this year, I've had a couple of clients whose interview were completely waived. So that's a good thing. With regards to everything happening in immigration, the fact that there's a waiver of final interview for employment-based green cards is great. It's actually a good thing. And so not everything is bad. There are great news as far as immigration is concerned. So please focus on that. Recently, a client of mine, and I put this in the Immigration Lawyers Association email thread for DC and Missouri, because I want to know whether any other attorney has experienced that. But a client of mine attended the N400, which is the citizenship interview, and she got to USCIS, but her interview was virtual. The officer that was interviewing her was not present in the building. I don't know whether that is something that is going to be happening often, but that is what actually happened to two of my clients. So I'm not sure if anyone has experienced that. I'll be happy to know if you have experienced that, but I have had two clients experience that. And I think that is also a great thing, because sometimes the officer sitting right in front of you can be a bit intimidating, especially if you don't go with your attorney, if you don't attend some of these interviews with your attorney, it can be a bit intimidating. And so if you just find yourself, you walk into the USCIS office and then the interview is going to be virtual, I think that's great, right? So there are so many great things, positive things happening in immigration. So please focus on that. The fact that we are getting approvals for our clients, amazing stuff. And so, like I always say, if you need an attorney, who is going to represent you to the best of their ability, who is going to represent your specific need and interest, an attorney who has the lived experience and who is really not, we are going to keep you updated, but we are not going to instill fear. Someone is asking me on Facebook, good to see you, Dominic. Someone is asking me on Facebook whether there's no fear and panic. It depends on what you see. It depends on what you choose to hear. You are not even an enforcement priority, so why are you worried about being afraid? I think those that are enforcement priorities, if you have a removal order if you are in the immigration court in the process of being removed. Please stay safe. I think I said this 2 weeks ago. Make sure that you get an attorney who is going to help you put together a power of attorney so that in case you are ordered removed or you are detained, then by all means, your attorney is going to be aware. Make sure that you update your emergency contact list. Okay, it's okay to let people know where you are at every point in time, especially if you know that you are an enforcement priority. And I have explained this over and over and over. Which people are enforcement priorities? The fact that you have overstayed your visa does not necessarily make you an enforcement priority. Okay, if you sat on a plane, you were admitted into the US. It does not necessarily. There's always an underlying factor. Do you have any criminal records, any conviction? Of course, you can be caught up. Collateral damage, like we said. If you happen to be in a place where it's being raided, and even if you're a green card holder, chances are you'll be detained but later released. And so it's not as bad. It's really not as bad. Stay informed. But it's really not as bad as it's being propagated. And so make sure you stay out of trouble. Update your emergency contact list. It's okay that people know where you are at every point in time, especially if you're undocumented. It's okay. If you don't want any family member to know, by all means, please talk to an attorney. Okay, so if you retain the services of an attorney, there's client confidentiality, and so the attorney cannot go about telling people that, oh, this person is an enforcement priority, this person does not have a green card. When you retain the services of an attorney and the attorney does that, by all means, please, you can press legal charges. Okay, so it's okay to update your emergency. I have some of my clients who have my cell phone number because of their situation. Those that have pending petitions, I have told them, if any of my clients is here, they will tell you, I have told them that, listen, let me know when you're traveling, give me your dates. So I have their dates on my calendar. Yesterday, right here, a client of mine was flying from one state to the other. Just when he got to the airport, he texted me, and I think he said he was going to probably post it somewhere because of how responsive I was, because I woke up knowing that this client of mine is traveling. I knew that this client of mine is undocumented. And so if you don't have an attorney like me, then chances are you can be caught in crossfires. So if you need your attorney and he or she is not there, that's a problem. So this client of mine traveling, because I had the date, I knew. And so I was literally keeping an eye on my phone. And the moment he texted me, I'm headed to the airport. I'm like, keep me updated. He got to the airport. He says, I'm here. I'm going through security. I said, okay, I'm here. Call me if anything happens. And he called and he said he's so surprised. How sometimes the stories we see on social media is completely false. Because he was literally going through security thinking that he was going to be detained because he has overstayed his visa and all that. He flew into the country and back and nothing happened. I mean, from one state to the other and nothing happened. Then again, if something had happened, he has a number, my number on speed dial. And this is not the office number because sometimes clients will travel at odd hours. And if you have to speak to your attorney because you're being detained or you're being questioned, by all means, you should have your attorney's number on speed dial. Let people know where you are. If you don't trust your friends, if you don't trust your family, at least you can trust your attorney. If you don't trust your attorney, please fire your attorney. Okay. So update your emergency contact list. Let people know where you are at every point in time, and make sure you get yourself a very good attorney who has the lived experience, and you will be fine. So I know that recently the Department of State, there's so much firing going on. Thank God we are not in the federal space anymore. There's so much firing going on. And so we project that processing of visa is going to be very slow, which is not going to be anything different. So many, I have a number of clients who are already in 221G, right? And so it's really not going to be anything different. So please chill. Like we say, take it easy. If you have any questions, if you need an attorney, by all means, you know whom to call. I have an attorney friend in London who say call Saul and not Paul. So please call me and not the other attorney. If you need an attorney, okay, for your immigration needs. Another update that I want to give you is that the visa bulletin. So if you're not here physically here in the United States and you have a petition pending, your parents, your siblings, your spouse has filed for you, you know that you're probably waiting for your priority dates to become current. That's when a visa becomes available to you. Good news, good news, good news. March visa bulletin is out and the dates are moving forward. This week, I think I've spoken to about 3 clients who are so frustrated about the fact that their petitions are with the National Visa Center, they are documentarily qualified, but interviews have not been scheduled, which is very typical. But as of the recent visa bulletin, the dates are moving forward, which is good. And so you want to be on the lookout for that. My clients know that I keep an eye on the visa bulletin. So once it's time for them to adjust their status, those physically here, we reach out to them and then we adjust, we quickly put the petition together for employment based. And for those who got married to green card holders, you also have to work with your priority date as well. So visa bulletin, that was a very good move, right? And so the dates are moving, which is really good. That's also a very, very, very good news as far as immigration is concerned. So not everything is entirely bad. And then one of the challenges, one of the things that I have seen amongst my circle, attorneys, petitions are being rejected, lots of RFEs coming in. This is the season. A couple of people, potential clients, will reach out and say, my attorney didn't do a good job, and I have received requests for evidence. I try not to speak down on another attorney, because I think if you are where you are as far as an attorney, I think you really did a great job, because law school can be very, very tormenting and very difficult. And so for the clients that come to me and say my attorney didn't do a good job, they know if they are here, they'll tell you. I don't subscribe to that. But this is the season for RFEs, right? So how do we even navigate through that? Make sure that you're giving them enough evidence so they don't come back. But of course, there are times you give them everything in the world and they will still come back, and that's okay. When you're responding to the request for evidence, make sure that you're giving them exactly what they are requesting for, and then also you're meeting the deadline. Remember, so I gambled. I gambled with a very good friend of mine, petition, and we discussed that. So when a petition, as far as request for evidence is concerned, most of the time when you're responding to an evidence, you have a deadline. If you have ever received a request for evidence before, you would know that there's always a deadline that you have to meet. So according to the law, it should be postmarked on that day, meaning that, let's say the deadline to respond to an RFE is February 21st, which is today. And something happens, so you're unable to, your attorney and the whole firm are unable to, submit their requests for evidence before the 21st. And then you send it on that same day. So long as it's postmarked that day, the day that it lifts, the day that it goes to, you hand it over to the courier service, post office, USPS, UPS, FedEx. So long as you hand it to them on that day, it is postmarked that day. And so USCIS is not going to hold that against you. I had read it in the INA, the immigration regulation. And so this particular friend, a very good friend of mine, my childhood friend, we discussed that. Please. We discussed that, and then one of the things that we said was that we're going to, please don't call the office line. Let us finish the the live stream session, and I can pick some calls before I leave the office. Because it was postmarked that day, USCIS said that actually they received it on that day, which is a great thing. I'm not saying that you should delay, because you never know who the officer is going to be. So if you receive an RFE, it doesn't mean that your case is weak. It's basically the fact that the USCIS needs more evidence. So make sure that you do a great job. Sometimes it's not the fault of attorneys. Sometimes clients are just who they are. And so if your attorney says, I need A, please give your attorney A. If your attorney says they need AB, please give them AB. Don't give them just A, okay, so that they can respond to that. But after you have received a request for evidence, I've had clients move from RFE to approval. And so all hope is not lost when you receive a request for evidence. So those are some of the great news. So you see, I've listed about 5 great news, good news as far as immigration is concerned. So not everything is entirely bad, okay? So please chill. Dominic, there's no fear, there's no panic. I think you should just change your focus and know the people to follow. Stay updated, but don't be too fixated on the bad. There are great things happening in immigration. Like us, we're getting the approvals for our clients. So by all means, so I'm going to take some questions and we will be out of here. So I'll leave you to enjoy your Friday evening. Questions. TikTok is the place to be. Questions started trickling in the moment I logged on. So let us read some questions. Okay, someone says, what document? It's running. The questions are running away from me. Okay, someone asks, what documents are you supposed to submit with the form I-864? So the form I-864 is basically an affidavit of support. When a petitioner files for a beneficiary, the petitioner must prove that they can sponsor the beneficiary and that the beneficiary is not going to be a public charge, okay? So the only way to do that is literally submitting documents to show that you have enough funds to sponsor this person. Depending on the household, the requirements as far as income is concerned will change. But some of the things that you need to submit with your Form I-864 is your W-2, so you need 3 years of tax transcripts, okay? And that can be requested from the IRS website, okay? So www.irs.gov, actually, 3 years of tax transcript. And please add either W-2 or 10, whatever document you used to file your taxes, make sure you add it to it. If you present only the tax transcript, they will come back for the W-2 or the 1099. So save yourself the trouble and add that, submit it to them, okay? And if the petitioner is not the only sponsor, which is fine. Sometimes petitioners may not have enough income to be a sponsor, so you can add a co-sponsor, which is okay. Make sure that the co-sponsor also provides the same set of documents and then their legal status. So if the person is a U.S. citizen, biodata page of their passport. If it's a green card holder, by all means, a copy of front and back copy of the green card. So I hope I've answered your question, Emma. Okay. So like I always say, someone says, hey, my sister, hey, my brother or my sister. Hi, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I have a pending application. Can I travel? Okay. If it's not absolutely necessary, please don't travel. If it's not absolutely necessary that you really have to travel, please don't. So if you have an advance parole pending, I'm sure we all know that when you have a petition pending, legally you're not supposed to travel. But once you file the advance parole, you should be able to travel. So many people have said that when you travel with an advance parole, you cannot come back. I haven't had any client experience that. So it will be very difficult to say that really, if you have received an approval for the advance parole, you won't be allowed to come back into the country. I haven't had any client experience that. Meanwhile, I have received approvals for lots of my clients for the advanced parole, and none of them have traveled and not be able to come back into the country or to enter into the country. So I won't be able to speak to that. But let's think about it. The purpose of that document is for you to be able to travel, right? The purpose of that advanced parole document is for you to be able to travel while you have a pending petition. And so if you know anyone who says that they had an approval for the advanced parole and was still unable to enter the country, please, there's always an underlying factor. There's always more to the story that they won't tell you. I haven't experienced any client who has received the advanced parole and was unable to re-enter the country whilst the petition is pending. Honestly, I think it's going to defeat the purpose of the advanced parole if you won't be able to enter the country. That is the purpose of the document. So, but because of the time we find ourselves, if it's not absolutely necessary, please don't travel. Save yourself the stress, okay? If you have any pending petition, make sure that, and you have received a receipt notice, make sure that you have that handy because of the times we find ourselves. Let it be in your gallery, let it be in your phone. If you want to keep a hard copy, that's fine. Just in case you're pulled over or you're stopped, you can let the officer know that, listen, I have a pending petition, and the officer should let you go. Don't answer any questions you're not supposed to answer. And if they show up in your house, we've said it, show them the red card, okay? You have to request to see their warrants. We have said this over and over and over and over again. So that's that. For the one asking whether they can travel, okay, someone says, can I travel with I-485 pending? I think I just answered that question. Okay. I came to America on filing. November. I just got my green card. Is it safe to travel? I mean, basically, you have received your green card. You want to know whether you can travel. By all means, you should be able to travel. But please remember that as a green card holder, you cannot be out of the country for more than 6 months. In fact, if you were my client, I would advise you not to stay away for more than a month. Okay, I would advise you not to stay out of the country for more than a month because of the time we find ourselves. And if it's not absolutely necessary, please don't travel. Please don't. Just save yourself the trouble unless it's really necessary. I have a VAWA application pending. Can I travel? Okay. I think I just answered a similar question. So your questions are running away from me. So the lady who asked about the I-864, I just answered. Okay, so how long does it take to receive a decision after your interview? I mean, from my experience, depending on, so if it's like your citizenship interview, your N400, you know right there and then. If it's your green card interview, sometimes you know then, but most of the time an officer would tell you that, oh, you're going to hear from us. And if it really went well, in a week or two. In fact, I have had clients that in a few days it was updated in the system, right? Your green card has been approved and it's being processed, or it's been, it's being processed. And so it all depends. It depends. It really depends. But if your interview went well, generally after 2 weeks, you should receive a decision. And if you have the USCIS account where you are monitoring the progress of your case, you would know that it has been updated, unless something woefully happens. And sometimes it takes a while. It all depends on the backlog, really. But I haven't had any clients whose own has, after an interview, it's gone past 3 weeks. I think the longest it's been is 3 weeks for us. So I can speak to our experience, right? So that's that. What documents do you need when you're filing for an I-130? Are you filing for your spouse, or you're filing for your child, or you're filing for your mom? Basically, your parents, immediate family. I-130 is used to establish the relationship, okay? It's used to establish. So if you're filing it for your parent, then you want to establish that this person is your parent. So aside filling the forms, some of the evidence that you need, number one, is your birth certificate to show that your mom's name is on that document, or your dad's name is on that document, okay? And pictures, letters, if there's anyone that can testify to that fact that, what other evidence that passes a birth certificate? So, and if it's marriage, depending on where the person is, if the person is physically present here with you, joint records, joint financial records, lease, shared experience, photos, people that know that you hold yourselves out as a couple. Okay, Solomon Watson says, wow. I don't know why, but Solomon, hi, wow. I hope you're well. Okay, waiting for my green card, but my wife wants a divorce. What are my options? Okay. So if you're waiting for your green card, then that means you have probably attended your interview and it's done, right? Whether you have attended your interview or not, one of the things that you must know is that if you are getting the green card based on marriage based, and then there's a divorce, you want to update the USCIS, because technically the purpose for which you are applying for that benefit is no longer there. Okay, it's no longer there. You're no longer married, and so you have to update the USCIS. Now, updating the USCIS can go either way, but oftentimes there are other options to consider depending on why your spouse wants the divorce. This is what I'm going to tell you. If you find yourself in that situation, give us a call, 703-705-9905. I wouldn't want to give you any specific answer until I know the full story of your session, right? I need to understand what is going on with you. Then I can advise you on the other pathways that may be available to you. And so if you're married, in the process of getting your green card and your spouse is looking to divorce or walk away, there are other pathways for you. Give us a call, 703-705-9905. We'll let you know what the options are, but we must understand the history, okay? Is there a hold on N400 because of the new administration? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Please, if any news portal said that or any attorney said that, tell them AB says you're lying. There's no hold, okay? If you believe that you're eligible for the N400, please go ahead. It's actually a good time to be a US citizen. I understand that the scrutiny level to becoming a US citizen is really high, but it's also a good time to file for your citizenship. So you really want to consider that. And no, the administration is not going to put a hold on anyone filing for US citizenship. So if you do qualify, please, by all means, give us a call. We will help you file. Okay. I have a B1, B2 visa and want to apply for the F1. Okay, that's fine. You want to make sure that you have received admission from the school. You have paid for your fees as far as the service is concerned. You are able to establish that you can pay the full tuition, not partial tuition, full tuition. And it's okay if you need a sponsor. Your parents can sponsor you, a friend can sponsor you, your siblings can sponsor you. You can definitely get a sponsor, but that sponsor must put a letter together basically saying that they are sponsoring you, and there must be the full tuition. My recommendation, what I tell my clients, is pay some of the tuition, because that's also another way of establishing that, oh, this person can actually pay. So pay some of the tuition and then get a sponsor to sponsor you. And you must establish that you have residence not in this country, but in your home country. So I don't know where you're coming from, but your last name is Pakwesi Nkrumah. Okay, so Pakwesi Nkrumah, I'm assuming you're from Ghana. And so we'll need your Ghana card. We have to show that you have residence in a certain country, your home country, and that is Ghana. And wherever you live, whoever you live with, we must show. So if you have some utility bills, anything that has your address, but most importantly, I have done that with the Ghana card, and it has worked very much well for my client. So these are some of the things that you want to consider when you are trying to change your status from B1, B2 to the F1. But it's definitely doable. We have secured approval for some of our clients. I have a green card. Can I invite my mom? Absolutely. You can invite your mom, okay? Okay. Is there a hold? No, there's no hold. I think I answered that. Okay. Are there any other questions? Because the questions are a lot, I think I've missed a few, but I am happy to take more questions. Okay, can I file my green card myself? What are the pros and cons that comes with filing for yourself? So when you say filing for yourself, it can mean different things. It can mean you're self-petitioning, or you're actually filling the forms yourself. So if you actually fill in the forms yourself, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that because if you make one mistake in the form, it can really hurt you so bad. I know that attorneys are expensive, and I think I said this in our webinar on Wednesday, that your best bet is to retain the services of an attorney. Let the attorney know that I'm retaining you for this purpose. I am trying to complete the form I-485. I'm trying to complete some sets of forms for my green card, but I cannot afford you. And so I have specific questions as far as the form is concerned. There are certain portions of the form that I don't understand. And so I would please need you to clarify that in my consultation. And then you pay for that consultation. And then the attorney is going to help you. That is if you cannot afford the attorney to complete the whole process or the whole filing for you. I don't recommend that you do it yourself, because if you make a mistake, and I've shared so many stories. I know someone who made a mistake in their date of birth. Zero, because every country, most countries, well, I will speak for Ghana because I'm from Ghana, is the day, month, and year. When you come to the US, it's the month, day, and year. And this client changed it. And it contradicted a previous information she had given to the National Visa Center. Previously, it was very difficult for USCIS to retrieve information from either the CBP or the National Visa Center. But now it's very, very easy to do that. Previously, they will have to FOIA the records. It would take them a very long time to get it. But now it's very easy for them to have access to whatever information you provided to the National Visa Center when you're trying to get a visa into the country. And so this client made a mistake. Her date of birth was different from the date of birth. The date of birth she had put in her DS-160 was different from the date of birth that she put in her green card application. And they said she lied. And that was it. Okay. So there are little things that can hurt you, especially if you make a mistake. And so my recommendation will be, don't complete these forms yourself, but be very honest to the attorney when you call for consultation, because there are clients that will come and ask you all the questions and go away. Sometimes they won't even pay you for the consultation. Oh, can I ask? And I get that a lot. And they will call, and because they know you're Ghanaian, they start speaking Twi. Sometimes they will address you as your sister. No, you're not my sister. Sometimes they will say, "Oh, my daughter." No, I'm not your daughter. So don't do that. Sometimes they'll call you and say, I just have one question. And after you give them an answer, they'll ask another question. Before you realize they've actually collected a whole bag of information, and then they'll go and do the work and leave you alone. And so these days, most attorneys will not give you everything. But if you pay an attorney for consultation and you let them know this is the purpose for the consultation, I think it's going to be very easy for the attorney to freely help you complete the form. I mean, I have done it for free for someone before, right? Because the person was genuine. The person, I could tell that the person really, really was hard pressed for cash. And so, I mean, sometimes we do pro bono work. So you would just do it for people for free. That's not to say that our services are free, but then there are moments that there are times that we do some of these pro bono work. And so please don't do it yourself to avoid any mistakes that is going to cause delays. And then if you're not careful, you find yourself in an immigration court. At this point, with everything happening, you don't want to do anything that is going to get you into the hands of law enforcement or USCIS and then find yourself in the immigration courts. You don't want that. So, yes, please don't do it yourself, okay? I have had my green card for 3 years. I haven't been in any trouble. I'm all good. Can you travel? Please travel. Oh, I feel so bad that there's so much fear that even those that are okay, those that have green cards and even citizens are so much afraid to travel. Not everything you see in the news is true. Okay, not every story, especially on TikTok, it's true. So you've had your green card for 3 years. You've never had issues with law enforcement. You don't have any criminal records, no criminal conviction. Why can't you travel? Please do. Okay, please do. But make sure you don't overstay. As a green card holder, you cannot be out of the country for more than 6 months. I don't even recommend you get close. I think you should go for a few weeks and come back. Don't even stay for more than a month. I don't recommend that. All right. What can be done if a document was submitted in May and haven't received a receipt as at yet? Okay, two things. Did you file it yourself or you retain the services of an attorney? Now, if you did work with an attorney, have your attorney call USCIS. You can always call USCIS and speak to someone and ask for a status, right? What is going on? You can also just Google USCIS logbox and you can actually send them an email yourself if you did it yourself. And you can actually call them yourself. So, yeah, there are things that you can do. Pick a phone, call them, or let your attorney call them if you did retain the services of an attorney. Or if you did it yourself, you can now retain the services of an attorney, and then the attorney will follow up for you. So maybe the attorney will not pick a phone to call them because that can be a bit challenging. USCIS would not speak to an attorney who is not on record for a particular case unless the client is on the phone as well. So with that, what the attorney can do is take a copy of the receipts, that is if you have received any, and then add it to a G28 form and submit it. And in your case that you haven't received any receipt notice, you would want to call them or get an attorney to call them. Make sure that you're on the phone with the attorney, or just send them an email to Logbox support. They should be able to get back to you. So it's either the petition is sitting somewhere in the USCIS, it has not been processed, or someone didn't do their job well, so they kind of threw it somewhere, or they'll really get to it at some point. I don't know, but you have to ask. Not until you request to know what is going on, you won't know, and that alone can be a bit frustrating and uncomfortable and can cause anxiety. So these are the 3 things you can do. Okay. How long after you have submitted a petition would you get your biometrics done and your EAD? Again, it all depends on the backlog. But I think when we started, I told you that with everything going on, we have had some fast processing rates. I think I said it earlier. Just 2 weeks ago, we submitted a petition for a family of 4, and today, just 2 weeks ago, and today, their biometrics appointment came in. Their biometrics is actually on, I think, the first week of next month. I don't have the date of her, but it's the first week of next month. And when I called this woman to let her know, she was like, it's not possible. And I said, it is. And she said, why are people instilling so much fear? And I said, well, it depends on where you're looking and whom you're talking to. And so I'm sorry, and so that is that. Sorry, the phone went off. So that's that. It all depends on the backlog. Okay, it depends on the backlog. So can I travel with advanced parole? I addressed that already. I think I provided an answer already. Marriage green card, I-130 approved since September 2024. I-485, I-765, I-131 are pending. Can I expedite? No, we cannot. I'm sorry. You just have to wait. You just have to wait, okay? You cannot expedite. Oh, someone says, please reply to me. Please resend your question. Please resend your question. I'm sorry. Kindly resend your question. So if you resend your question, I will be able to reply. I have probably missed your question and I'm sorry. Okay, Francis Akwete, you said hello. Hi, Francis. I hope you're doing well. Do you have any question? And Francis is watching us on YouTube. Thank you for joining, Francis. Okay. My expedite request for my husband was denied. What else can I do for an upcoming surgery? Miss Owusu, how did you put that together? It won't be the first time I'm hearing that, such a request was denied. It won't be the first time. But the times I have had potential clients whose request to expedite was denied, it was because, so classic example, the person for whom, let's say the beneficiary, that's just a very simple way to put it. The beneficiary is coming to the US for medical treatments. Okay, so in this case, a surgery. Did you show proof of like a medical facility here or a doctor that was going to receive and treat your husband? Because that's one of the things you have to prove that. The times I got an approval for my clients, this is what I did. I think I've had 2 clients whose parents had to come for medical treatment. We set up an appointment for the parents here in the US, and then we got doctors who were willing and ready to treat or receive this patient. And so with that evidence, we were able to schedule that because we had the client's doctors, okay, in Ghana, send a letter recommending that they need treatment here in the US. So with that letter, we actually found a medical officer who was willing to treat the clients. And so we got their petitions expedited. So I'm not sure how you did it, but I'll be happy to assist you. So please give me a call. Like I always say, there's always more to the story. So please give me a call, 703-705-9905 from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. So I'm sure it's 6:24 now. So we can talk on Monday. Please give me a call, Miss Owusu. Actually, you have my name as well. Okay, so are there interviews for EB2 NIW green card applicants? So if you were here earlier, I mentioned that I've had a couple of clients whose interview have been waived completely. Employment-based EB1, EB2, completely. 5 of them, actually. And I've also had other attorneys report same. And so I said it's one of the good things happening in immigration in spite of everything else happening. It looks like interviews are being waived for employment-based green card. Maybe it's too early to tell, but at least we've had a number of clients interviews being waived, and other trainees have also reported same. So that's that. Okay, that's that. I filed I-485. It's about a month ago. It skipped to stage 4. That means interview is waived. I don't know. Honestly, don't know whether that's what it means. You filed for just a month ago. Just let's wait and see. I don't know whether it has been waived, really. I wouldn't want to say yes and no. So I don't know whether it has been waived or not. Okay. So please wait and see. Okay, Shadrach Kwache, I'm so sorry that I've missed your question. I know you're saying please answer me, but could you please resend your question? After being married to a US citizen, how long should you wait to file? There's no law that gives or states a certain number of years or months to wait. There's no law anywhere that says that. However, because you have to prove that your marriage is bona fide and you know that immigration is evidence-based, because you must prove that, you have to take your time to put those pieces of evidence together. Okay. And so that is why most people wait. But if you get married today, Friday, you can file for your marriage-based green card on Monday. But it's extremely important that you're able to prove that your marriage is bona fide. And the only way to do that is evidence, evidence, evidence. So you cannot just walk to the bank and open a joint account with no transaction and then turn it to the USCIS as proof of joint account. It doesn't work that way. You would have a problem. And so that's why people wait. People actually wait because you want to establish that your marriage is bona fide. And think about it. If you came to the US on a B1, B2, and you get married 6 or 7 months, and right after that you file for your marriage-based, really, that's a problem, right? That can set you up for trouble because it can be proof positive that you actually did this for immigration benefits. But most importantly, you have to establish that your marriage is bona fide. And please check our social media pages. There are tons of videos on the pieces of evidence to submit to show that your marriage is bona fide. Solomon Boating, I am so sorry that we have missed your call. Please send an email to info@ablegalconsult.com with your number, with your phone number, and I'll personally give you a call. I am very sorry that we have missed your call. I don't know what time you called. I don't know whether it was after business hours, but please, we are very sorry that we missed your call. Send your number to info@ablegalconsult.com and I'll give you a call on Monday. Solomon, okay? Thank you. Okay, so it's almost 6:30, and it's Friday, so I think I will let you all go. But listen, oh, okay, there's one question. So how do I get to have an exclusive conversation with you? Exclusive conversation. Okay. Our booking link is there. Can any member of my team put the booking link there so that Francis Akwete can schedule an exclusive session with me for an hour? Our booking is for an hour. Okay. So please book an exclusive conversation session with me using our booking link. When you go to our website, ablegalconsult.com, the booking link is also there. Please, by all means, I am happy to hear what's going on as far as your immigration is concerned. I want to believe that is the exclusive conversation. So please book us 1 hour session, and I'm happy to listen to your immigration story and provide you with all the legal assistance that you need. Okay. So when I started this session, I shared with you some great news. Please check Democracy 2025 website. Great, amazing immigration news happening. I think it's only a few news portals that actually tell you the good news happening in immigration, and then the majority is instilling fear, which is fine. But please, there are great things happening in immigration. There are great things happening with us here at AB Legal Consult. We are getting approvals for our clients, EB2, EB1. Recently, a client of mine in London, actually in the UK, received an EB2 NIW approval. And I'll tell you this, before he retained us, he had actually consulted with other attorneys, and they said that he didn't qualify. And someone said, well, just talk to AB, listen to one last attorney on this, and let's see whether you do qualify or not. And if you have followed us for a minute, I say it, that we evaluate your CV before we schedule a consultation session with you. I don't think it is fair to have you schedule a consultation session without us reviewing or evaluating your CV to determine your eligibility for any of the employment-based green card. And you don't have to be in the country. You don't have to be here to file for the EB1 or EB2 NIW, not just the EB2. I'm talking about the EB2 NIW because they're two separate things altogether. You don't have to be physically present in the United States to file for that. And so we have received quite a number of approvals just this year for the employment-based, which is great news. Okay, so not everybody's petition is being denied. Not everybody's petition is being rejected. But there's a time for all crazy things happening in immigration. Stay positive. Make sure that you are working with an attorney who truly understands, who has the lived experience, who knows the law, and at least can give you hope. Because with the times we find ourselves, attorneys are actually going crazy. So make sure that you're working with an attorney who, of course, stays updated with what's happening in the news, but also looking for the positive news amidst of everything else happening. Update your emergency contact. Make sure that your attorney knows where you are at every point in time. Stay out of trouble if you happen to be in a community that you know that it's being raided. ICE is just showing up. It won't hurt to move. And if you find yourself anywhere and you hear that ICE is coming, please don't stay. Run away. Run. Recently, I told a client about, he called me. He said, "Oh, I've heard that ICE." I'm like, "Run. Don't even finish talking to me. Just leave." And he did. So that's that for now. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I am going to have myself a wonderful weekend, and I wish you same. Please follow our social media pages, AB Legal Consult on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. We also have a WhatsApp group page, and I'm hoping that any of my team members would put it in the chat box. We have a WhatsApp group page where I just put, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So they ask questions and I handle the page myself. I answer the questions myself. And so you have access to me there. There are people that are shy to put their questions. There are people that are shy to put their questions in the WhatsApp group page. And so they will backdoor text me, which is brilliant. It's fine. I'm happy to respond. Listen, there's so much great things happening in immigration. Not everything is bad. It all depends on where you're looking, whom you're following, and your focus. So stay well, stay safe. And if you need an attorney, please give us a call, 703-705-9905. It's been a pleasure being here, and I look forward to doing this again next week. Before I go, on Wednesdays, we have a webinar. 5:30 to 6:30. It's very intimate. We don't record it. I take lots of questions there as well. And so please feel free to join. If you keep your eyes on our on our social media platforms. There's ads rolling that you can actually subscribe to that. And so please feel free, subscribe to that. You're going to have access to the free immigrants guide. And this immigrants guide is like my personal gift. These are the things that number one, I want every immigrant to know. And these are the things that I didn't know when I relocated to the United States. So I have put it together in a 10-page booklet just for you. Okay, it's absolutely from me, from my heart to you. And I want you to read it. It's very easy to read, easy on the eye. You can just read through it in one setting, maybe 10, 15 minutes, you should be done. There are some important information in there that you need to know. And these are things I didn't know when I came to the US. And so if you subscribe to our email list, you're going to receive that guide for free and be part of our email list where you get to receive the news before it comes out. When we have any updates, you receive it first, then it goes to our WhatsApp group page before it comes out. So it's a great place to be, and you get to be part of the webinar which we have on Wednesdays. So enjoy your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week, Friday. Be well, stay safe, and stay blessed. Good night.